Hello Sewanee faculty. In this video, I'm going to explain the basics of creating and grading an assignment in your Brightspace courses. To get started, navigate to one of your courses in the system and click on Assignments in the navigation bar. To create a new assignment, use the blue New Assignment button. From here, you'll give your assignment a title and give some instructions for your students in the HTML editor. You can type some brief instructions, or if you have a longer prompt, you can also attach a file like a Word document or a PDF. Next, I choose whether my students are handing this in individually or as a group. To use the group feature, you have to set up the groups in Brightspace beforehand. The next step is a crucial one, and that's how my students are going to hand in this assignment. The most common one is file submission, in which they attach a file. Text submission means the students will type their submission directly in an HTML editor. This is the exact same one that you have when writing the prompt. The next two are non-Brightspace turn-in options. Basically, whether or not the students hand you a physical piece of paper, or whether or not you observe the students in person, typically used for something like presentations. For this demonstration, we'll choose file submission. Then you choose how many times the students can hand in the file. So either your two choices are either an unlimited number of attempts or only once, and then how many submissions that the system is going to keep. You can enter in your email address to receive an email every time a student hands in this assignment. You may not want to use this for smaller assignments, but for something like the final paper, it may be helpful to you to receive an email every time a student hands one in. The category is a little bit misleading because it actually has nothing to do with the grading categories in the system. Rather, it's used to categorize all your assignments, both graded and ungraded. It's typically fine to leave no category in this box unless you wish to organize your assignments in the system if you have a lot of them. Alright, then you next need to provide a score. This is a required field, and it must match the grade item that you have associated with this assignment. Please see our section on grades for more information about creating grade items. For now, you can put in the points possible and make sure it matches a grade item you've either pre-created or you can create one directly in this window here. Next, you can choose whether or not you want to add a rubric that you've pre-created or create one directly in this assignment creation window. Same kind of rules apply, and the points in the score out of must match the points that you've created in your rubric. If you're going to use a rubric to grade your assignment, make sure to choose that rubric in the default scoring rubric window here. The last two options in this tab include hiding the student names, so that's for anonymous grading, and whether or not to allow annotation tools. Since this assignment is a file submission where the students are submitting a paper, I definitely am going to want to use the annotation tools in the system. Now we're not done creating our assignment yet because we have to choose the due dates. So let's scroll all the way back up to the top and then choose the restrictions tab right here. The top box is the most important one, so every time you create an assignment in Brightspace, it is automatically or by default hidden from all the students. This allows you to begin working on your assignment prompt, save it, and come back to it later to finish it. When your assignment is ready, you must uncheck this box for your students to see it. Next, I choose a due date for my assignment. You can pick a date from a calendar here, and either choose a time or manually type one in. The due date is different from the availability date. The availability indicates how long this assignment will remain in the system for your students to see. If I have no availability dates, the students will see that the assignment is due on August 7th in this example, but they will still be able to turn it in after that date because the assignment is permanently available or unhidden. Let's say I only want my students to be able to turn in this assignment for a week's time. In that case, I know it's due on August 7th, so I'll let them turn it in from August 3rd at, let's say, 8 a.m. all the way until August when the assignment is due, August 7th at 5:15. This means that the assignment will be visible starting on this date and time, and then it will disappear for the students at this date and time. You can choose what works best for you and for this particular assignment that you're creating. The next two options are release conditions and a special access or accommodations. Release conditions is a little bit of an advanced option, but it has to do with the assignment's availability. You can create release conditions in saying that, only if a student visits something, visited content topic in my module. Let's say they have to take a quiz, for example, before they can even see this assignment. You have a variety of release conditions that you can create and use and reuse in the system. You can explore those. Finally, special access allows you to provide accommodations for particular students in your class. You choose the top bubble and then add users to special access. Here, I have a list of all the students in my class, and I can select them individually and then provide custom due dates and availability dates for these particular students. When I'm done, I want to hit the blue Save button. Finally, we want to make sure we hit Save and Close to finalize the creation of the assignment. The next step is to grade the assignment. Once it's visible to users and they've handed it in, you're going to have to grade it. So the same process applies. Go to your course homepage and click on Assignments. You can see an indicator here provides a number of new submissions that I can see, or I can click on the assignment itself. If you click on New Submissions, it will take you directly to the grading and feedback window. Personally, I like to click on the assignment name itself, so I'm given kind of an overview of all the submissions that have been done so far for this particular assignment. Here in this tab, I can view the submissions by particular student or users, or I can click this to view all the submissions in a giant chronological list with timestamps. Here, for this demonstration, I'm going to see users, and I can see demo learner number 1 has handed in this, demo learner 11 has handed in this. To get started, I merely click on the student submission. From here, if the student submitted a PDF or a Word document, you will see it displayed in this window. From here, you have some annotation tools available to you. Note that you can drag the size of the windows on the left and right, depending on your screen, and use what's most comfortable for you. On the left is the student submission, and on the right is your feedback. I can click on the text tool and provide some annotations directly over the text to my student, or one of the most common options to use is the sticky note, where you can point to particular sections for the student and then leave it like that, so that when they mouse over that, they can see a longer note that you may have written about a particular point in their paper. Once I've annotated the document, then I can go on the right and provide the feedback. Here's where I give the assignment a grade, and then provide my written feedback right here. Notice that this written feedback is the same as the HTML editor we saw when we designed the prompt. We can use the Insert Stuff button to even add video notes to provide verbal or visual feedback to our students, or attach a file with longer feedback comments. When I'm done grading the student, I can click on either Publish or Save Draft. Publish will immediately publish the grade to the student and tell them that their work has been graded. Or you can save a draft of your feedback and publish all of the feedback simultaneously later. Here in the very top right of the feedback window, I can then use these arrows to navigate between the student submissions and begin grading the next one. When I'm finished with all of my grades, I want to go to the top left and go back to the submissions. Typically, or most probably, you'll want to save a lot of drafts of your feedback and then publish the grades all at the same time. To do that, click on the Assignments window, click on the name of the assignment, and then make sure you're viewing it in the Users tab. I then click this top left checkbox to select all the students, in which I have all my feedback saved as a draft, and then use this Publish Feedback option. When I click that, it will publish, it says I wasn't done feedback on one student, it will publish all of the grades to the students simultaneously.